does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. And if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10.
Okay, so I think we're live now. With any luck, you should be able to hear me fine and see the stream starting soon thing here. Let's go ahead and swap that over. Let's see. Will it work? Yes. Okay. Good. Hello? Um.
Yeah, I can now. A little bit.
Alright. So. Okay. Here we go, boys. So, welcome to the first Gamer Pro podcast, the inaugural, I guess. With C Comet OG.
Sure.
What's up?
I think this should be able to run. If I do the same, if I like do the same setting, I have
Yeah.
new PC is the fact that it keeps overheating, and since this is an all-in-one and it has a functioning fan, I doubt it's gonna overheat.
Probably won't. But
And I'm
so
pretty sure we have the same processor, so we should be able to both run the game.
oh yeah, definitely. So, currently we're going to be talking about mainly games in this, I do believe. It kind of depends on what we decide to do.
Is it
So
live?
oh yeah, it's live.
Oh shit! I didn't realize. I was just talking.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's live. So I have a notepad of things that I kind of want to talk about right now. So right now we're gonna get into the first segment, which is going to be some of the new games that are coming out this year that we are kind of hyped for, and I kind of want to talk about more in depth for them and like see like some of the because for some of the games there's already been a beta that's dropped currently, and I kind of want to talk about some of the shit that we're hyped for about the game and some of the things that we've seen so far. So the first game that I have in mind is Black Ops 4. Black Ops
I'm
4.
not playing Black Ops 4.
I'm gonna be playing it. That's for definite.
I'm just not.
I I've seen some of the beta footage. It doesn't look as bad as a lot of other people think. Like
It looks pretty shit, my guy. It looks horrible.
it
How can you say
literally
that?
no, it doesn't look too bad.
It looks pretty shit.
It looks
It looks
like
shit
Black
for a
Ops
game that
3.5.
came out 4 years after Black Ops 3.
That is
Like the game should be better.
That's true. For this year, it definitely should be way better. But they recently today released the beta for a new game mode called Heist, which is basically a CS:GO kind of team deathmatch thing. You have to get money and buy weapons and
They're literally just finessing like other game modes from other games because they ran out of ideas.
Yes,
Like that's pretty much all the game is.
I've heard this gameplay is actually pretty good though. This game or the game mode. I've heard it from a lot of people actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good because it's not original. I remember when fucking Infection came out and it was the funnest shit because it was fresh and new, and I hadn't done anything like that before.
That's true. Black Ops 4 is a bunch of money whores. Activision.
Yes.
But yeah. So I'm kind of hyped somewhat for Call of Duty, but the main thing I think I'm gonna play is because the multiplayer doesn't seem like it's gonna be fun for me because obviously I'm not like into the whole teamwork kind of thing. I'm gonna be playing a lot of zombies. The zombies, from what I've heard, number one, they have the biggest team like in all of Treyarch. From what fuck, I can't even. Jason Vonderhaar. No, not Vonderhaar. God damn it, dude. I'm an idiot. Don't worry about it. From what Jason Blundell said, they have the largest team in Treyarch. So, and they've already leaked some things that is very promising about zombies. I hope they don't fuck it up because zombies is one of my favorite game modes.
I'm not paying $60 to just play zombies, and the only thing I'm going to play on the game is zombies. So if they make if they make zombies available for a separate purchase, then I might play it, but I refuse to pay $60 for half a game.
David, you do realize that you hardly played Black Ops 3 multiplayer and mainly only played zombies on that too.
Yeah, because I was a fucking idiot, and it didn't come out of my pocket. I could have spent my money on like Rainbow Six, and I still would be playing Rainbow Six.
That's valid. That is valid. Why the fuck is my phone on 1x right now? That's bullshit. Anyway, so enough of that. But yeah. So Black Ops 4 definitely I'm hyped for. What about the Blackout game mode that's coming for the Battle Royale game mode?
What?
The Battle Royale game mode. What about that?
I don't know dick about that. I have not been paying attention to Black Ops 4 at all.
I have.
I do not plan on playing it ever.
Black Ops, the Blackout game mode, they haven't released very much for it, but it's supposed to be a bunch of the old maps combined, pretty much, like the old zombies maps and campaign maps.
I really just want to shit all over COD right now because COD is fucking so terrible right now. It's literally just the reskinned game over and over again. That's all it is.
That's valid. I think we should stop talking about BO4 now.
Yeah, I'm actually happy that COD is dying. I'm not happy that all the COD players are now playing fucking Fortnite, but I'm happy that that shitty game is finally like dying out because I'm just tired of hearing about it, and I'm tired of games being made that ruin all of my like memories of COD.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Next thing is the new Spider-Man game coming out. The new Spider-Man game coming out has
I'm also probably...
Fuck. God damn it, dude.
Say I'm probably not going to play it. I'm sorry.
The new Spider-Man game, it looks actually really good, in my opinion.
It looks okay. It looks... eh.
From the
it
footage...
doesn't look fucking... It doesn't look...
Yeah.
It looks like a good game, but it doesn't look like a good AAA game.
That is definitely true. I can kind of agree with that.
Okay, it looks like GTA 4. Except you're Spider-Man. It literally looks like a GTA mod, except as Spider-Man.
That's valid. I can't believe I'm actually kind of agreeing with that. Because I used to play the Spider-Man games when I was younger. And this one, like, if they get this right, though, this could definitely... This could do a lot, dude. Like, if they get this right... Who knows? Who knows what could happen if they get this right? Like, this game could probably... Like, if they get it right, it could beat out Fortnite, I do believe.
I fucking doubt that.
Yeah, me too.
The reason Fortnite is so popular is because little kids can play it.
That is.
And I doubt little kids are gonna be that good at fucking the new Spider-Man.
But it's a Spider-Man game. Like Spider-Man's always been.
Yeah, but Spider-Man has always been for kids, but Spider-Man is. I wouldn't say Spider-Man is actually for kids at all. I'd say Spider-Man is for like prepubescent kids
That's true.
or pubescent teenagers.
All right. So the Spider-Man game, I'm extremely hyped for. I've seen quite a bit actually. Of footage
Why
for it.
though?
Cause like, okay, have you ever like, when you were younger, watched the Spider-Man game and wondered what it would be like to kind of swing around as Spider-Man and face the bad guys that obviously we'd
I
like to see?
played Spider-Man games. I played the original Spider-Man. I played the original Spider-Man game on the GameCube.
Exactly, and it made you feel
That
like a
game
total
was fun as fuck.
badass. If they're able
Yeah, it made
to
you feel like a total badass because it was so simple.
yeah, and if they're able
The
to
new Spider-Man
recreate
looks
that,
complicated as fuck.
that is valid. But
I
also,
feel like the new Spider-Man is gonna have the same problem as Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight, is like the fighting mechanics are fucking abysmal. I fucking hate that game.
I played Arkham Knight, never finished it because it
It's
just got
so-
boring to me. Mainly because of
Yeah,
the fighting.
I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen to the new Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure.
I
It look
hope
like
not, dude.
if you're watching someone fight, it looks intense as shit. If you're actually doing the fighting, you're just pressing two buttons, and Batman is doing everything.
That's true. All right.
I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen to the new Spider-Man.
So at E3, these are games that were announced at E3, obviously. They announced Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which, for the first time in a long time, I can say looks okay. It doesn't look like, I mean, the graphics look okay, and the whole setting looks pretty good, but it's, I don't think they've really ever done Egypt
It's an
before, have they?
Assassin's Creed game, though.
In
have.
2018, Omega Lol.
Origins.
Hmm.
Origins was in Egypt.
Oh yeah, I have Origins too. I just never really got to finish it though. That's the problem. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It does look pretty good, especially the ship combat. I've seen a little bit of the ship combat, and it basically looks like it's.
The only
What's up?
the only time I've enjoyed any part of an Assassin's Creed game is Black Flag, the ship combat. That was the only time I've ever enjoyed playing an Assassin's Creed game, like ever.
I've only ever played one Assassin's Creed game, but like, just the trailer and shit for it looked quite good, and I've seen a little bit of gameplay from it too, from like YouTubers that were sponsored and could play like the demo that people got to play at E3. And honestly, I like a lot of the stuff that they're doing with it. Like the graphics look decent for an Assassin's Creed game, and then you know, I'm hoping Ubisoft shoots this one out of the park, which God knows if they are or aren't really at this point, because
Yeah.
Ubisoft kind of sometimes drops the balls with games that you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna love this game. One of those games that I kind of
Ubisoft
felt that way about.
Garbage.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Ubisoft
Honestly,
Ubisoft does the exact same thing that most COD companies
Activision.
do.
Yeah.
They reskin the game.
I was so hyped for
I'm
Far
not
Cry 5.
excited for any AAA title, actually.
Okay. I was so hyped for Far Cry 5, right? Like Far Cry 5 was like one of those things that I saw at E3 and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to love this fucking game, dude. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to love it." I played through it and you know what? I did enjoy it until I got to the end. So this is going to kind of contain spoilers. There's 3 endings and none of them end in a good way. Like none of them. So you basically did everything in the game. It's kind of like that whole fuck, what was that game called? I'm trying to think now.
I don't fucking.
The gay game, the time travel game. That when you went
Fucking Life is Strange.
Yes, when you went into like on the surface, right? When you go and play through the game, it's like, "Oh, hey, this is a pretty good game." And then you look at it after you're done, right? And you just start breaking holes in every little logic about the game. And one of the things
And
I
you
saw
realize that no matter what you fucking do, you only have 2 options at the end.
precisely,
Destroy the world or let the bitch die.
precisely.
It's so dumb.
That's the same with fucking Far Cry. You go through, you save all these people, right? You recruit them, you get Cheeseburger, you get the fucking dog, you get the lion, right? You get all these characters together, a band of rebels, and then at the end, you all die. Or you have to leave them behind while your deputy friends and you escape.
Your voice is lagging.
Anyone? Yeah, it's gonna lag.
What?
Don't worry about it. So basically, Far Cry 5, the whole premise at the end is that you either take the 3 people you went in there with and leave, and leave every other person that you met and saved, and you end up turning against the 3 people that you saved, I do believe, or at least that was what it kind of seemed like in that ending. Or you go in, right? And this is like first ending is the one at the very beginning, right? And that's where, when you're starting the game, it's an Easter egg ending. If you don't do anything and don't tap the button that it tells you, it'll just end the game and roll the credits. And you'll just walk away. Which is fucking boring because you want to play through the game, right? Second ending, this is at the end, obviously, is you're going to choose to fight the head guy, like the main guy, right? You're going to choose to fight him, right? If you choose to fight him, you beat him, get all your friends back, and then he drops a fucking nuke and kills everyone.
Including you?
No, because you're driving to this bunker that you were at in the start of the game, right? You end up crashing into a tree. The father and you, which is the main guy, the father, he takes you into that bunker and says, since you killed all my family, you're gonna be my family. And then it just ends. So everything you did in the game, gone. For nothing.
Leads up to fucking results.
Yeah. And then the other one is that you take the 3 friends that you came here with, right? The 3 deputies, and you leave, and the sheriff, the 2 deputies and the sheriff, and you leave, right? And then they say, "Oh, we're gonna come back here with the full force of the National Guard," because the father put his head on you, and he just goes, "My son, go," right? And so we drive away. We drive down the road. Your screen turns red after they say that, and you look at them, and it just cuts to credits. Which, once again, I'm assuming he killed them, and once again, that was the whole point of the fucking game, was to save them and everybody else. So, anyone?
They all
What's the
die
point?
anyway?
Yeah, pretty much, in both of the main endings. And then the Easter egg one, you don't even get to play through the game. So it's like, it's a lose-lose situation. Like, if you, it sucks. And the only, but the gameplay, there's really no point. The story sucked. And it ruined the gameplay for me completely. Like, after I finished that game, like, as much as I loved the gameplay, it was like perfect mix of action and side quests and main missions, right? You know, like the usual Far Cry games, like Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 3, right? I loved them until the end, and it kind of just went through. I'm just like, all these missions that I did had no fucking point. I played this game for 4 days. No point at all to do it. Like, there was no point. And I'm sorry that I'm bashing on all these games, but, like,
Most games are fucking garbage. It's not my fault.
this year, I was not hyped for very much. I have, like, maybe 5 of, like, the 30 games they announced at E3 that I'm excited for. And one of them, and two of them, Comet just completely fucking destroyed every reason I should be hyped for.
Yeah.
But one of the other games is The Last of Us 2, and I know that you played The Last of Us, right?
Yeah, I did not like that game at all.
I like the game. Honestly, I'm a story mode player. Like,
the gameplay, the story was absolute dog shit. I don't know why so many. That game like won an Oscar for best storyline, and it's so stupid. Like, I would be fine with the story if you actually got different endings, but you only get like 2. That's like story mode games are garbage. The reason why I like Detroit Become Human so much is because the decisions you make actually have an effect on the plot. You can have like I'm pretty sure there are like 10 to 20 different endings to that game.
I'd never
Far Cry
seen
or-
Detroit Become Human. But yeah, so The Last
you
of Us
should watch
2,
it.
they had a fake gameplay at E3 this year, showing off some of the mechanics and stuff that you can do in the game. And my main problem with the first one was that it was extremely tedious in the way that you got ammo, right? Which I guess was kind of part of like the whole, going through tediously part, but like the ammo was so fucking little to none, right? So I guess it was made to make you think and like puzzles, I guess, but at this point in my life, I was like, no, I don't want a puzzle game. I want an action zombie game, story game, right? I don't care about the puzzle side of things. Just give me something that I can shoot things, right? So, I don't know, man. Okay, next one.
You like the first one.
Battlefield 5.
Rewind. You said you like the first one.
Hold on. Are you going through a wind tunnel? Battlefield 5, I've seen the beta for it, and at first it looked like a clunky mess, and then like as soon as I throughout the beta period, I saw like them kind of improve the game a little bit, and the Car 98 I don't really like. The Car 98 is supposed to be a satisfying one-shot like it usually is in Call of Duty or other games. Snipers are supposed to be a one-shot kill. Come on. Why can't anybody get this right? It pisses me off, too. Because even the more recent Call of Duty games, right? You have to hit them in the chest to get a kill, right? I've done that 3 or 4 times, right? They won't die. They'll get hit markered and just go, nice try, motherfucker, and headshot me instantly. So it kind of pisses me off when people don't get snipers right, especially when they try to bring snipers in. But Battlefield 5 definitely seems like a game that I'll be purchasing because Battlefield 5 is... Battlefield's always rocked the world of gaming. Like, from what I've heard...
I don't want to sound sexist, but the reason why I probably won't play it is because, like, if I guess it's their take on Battlefield 5, but there were no female soldiers in World War II, like, at all. There actually were, but they definitely didn't fight for America. And if they wanted to go for historical accuracy, they could have had Russian female snipers, which would have been completely cool. Like, I would have been totally fine with that because it's actually historically accurate.
With most
Just
games,
adding
though,
female characters for the sake of female characters just seems disingenuous.
yeah, exactly. Like, with most games, they do that, though. That's also another thing that kind of pisses me off about games, like when they don't stick to history.
Not dealing with women acting fools, calling them out about it, boycotting. Women do not like to be excluded.
Well, they could have had female characters. Like there were.
I get what you're saying. They could have had female characters that was historically accurate.
Yeah.
But then you also got to remember that a large percent of the population is tripping about Russia right now. So you don't want to add Russian female snipers because American women ain't gonna want to play those players. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, politics go into everything,
Bro.
Politics
are
played
going
into
into video
Madden
games.
2019. You get what I'm saying?
Wait. There's politics in Madden
And I'm saying it
2019?
should
Hold
play
up,
into
hold up.
everything, but
What is this
when
about?
people sit at the table, they talk about the climate. We talk about the climate when we make a new pizza. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you talk about the political climate and where the people are at the moment.
You're on his podcast, by the way.
I ain't saying nothing negative.
No,
I
she
don't
didn't
just
say
say,
nothing.
you know.
That's fine.
I'm just offering
This
up
is
the
like,
things
but
that
hold
already
on,
matter.
hold on.
You know what I'm
This
saying?
has opened up a whole new thing. I didn't know about political shit in
Americans
Madden
don't wanna
19.
play.
What is this about? Hold up.
Not right now.
Apparently, somebody. What's his name?
Who?
The black dude who wouldn't kneel.
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they took his name out of
They
Madden
put it back in
2015.
because everybody went crazy and pushed at the politicians. They put it back in. Well, they pushed that Madden, but I'm saying it became a political. You know what I'm saying? Like conversation. It was all on the news. It was on GMA. See, like, and they put his name back in. It took a week, but they put his name back in.
I don't get why
And
they
issued a public apology.
like
YG.
Why did they take it out though?
Huh?
Why did they take it out?
because it was like
Because the NFL isn't holistically supportive of the kneeling. Like they split down the middle. You got some owners who I stand in solidarity with my players. I'm not gonna kneel, but I'm gonna stand with them while they kneel. You got some owners of teams saying if any of my players kneel, they getting ejected from the game. You know what I'm saying? Like so the NFL ain't took a solid stance on it.
I find it hypocritical that people are like, oh, if you're a baker, you have to bake a cake for a gay couple. But also NFL team owners can't force their players to not kneel. That seems kind of stupid.
it does, yeah. It really does. Alright. Off of the Battlefield topic and that topic, Trails-
I wish the underlying issue that led to the kneeling didn't even exist. You know what I'm saying? Screw the kneeling.
Trails Rising.
Stuff that led to the fact of feeling like there was a need to kneel. Because the kneeling was only to bring awareness.
Ma, we're not talking about that. You're not in the podcast, Ma.
I was actually even on the podcast.
Trails Rising. Trails
Pretty
Rising.
garbage game.
Wait, what?
Hey, it's pretty bad.
Trails Fusion?
Trails Fusion was amazing.
Trails Rising hasn't even released yet.
Yes, I played it. What do you mean? We both played it.
No, that's Trails Fusion.
Why though?
Trails Fusion.
Can you like watch it in your room? Cause that's what I usually do when you want to do something.
That's Trails Fusion, dude. That was what we played on PS4, or that what we tried to play, and it
Oh,
basically broke. But on
Oh,
PC
yeah.
is the main thing, right? Like that's where it was mainly thriving is PC, and that's another Ubisoft game, by the way. So,
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, yeah,
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, yeah, definitely. But Trails Rising,
Some
yeah.
pretty oof
So
games.
I'm kind of actually somewhat hyped for this game, in the way that I played Trails Fusion, right? I used to play it so
Mhm.
much with my family, and I still kind of do.
You say
if-
Trails?
Yeah. Trials,
It's,
isn't
it's
it?
Trials.
Oh, shit. Trials Rising, I'm extremely hyped for, because if it's another game like Trials Fusion, I can we can play it with my family. I can play it like we can just goof around. I'm excited for a whole new cast of bikes, a new whole cast of characters, suits.
Me and my
Um,
cousin Royce beat Trials Evolution?
Trials
Is
Evolution.
that what it's called? We
I
beat
think
it
so.
on the Xbox 360 like 10 times.
Dude, Trials
That game has a lot
was
of
a
love.
was a really good game though. Like the Trials series has been pretty damn good for past couple of years. There's even people playing Trials Fusion for like now. Like even now there's people playing it. So next one is The Division 2. Tom Clancy's The Division 2. I don't know if I'm hyped for this or not. I'm not too like Tom Clancy games I've not really been too hyped for, except for Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six was one of the only games that I actually I never played it, but just seeing other people play it made me happy and want to play it. So it was like one of those things where you could get how fucking fun it was and how competitive it could be through a person making a video about it. So The Division 2, The Division 1, if you guys don't know, what I mainly saw with that was connection issues and combat problems, along with overpowered guns.
And it being very boring.
And yeah, being very boring. That was the main problems that I saw with The Division 1. And I think that, and even Summit 1G agreed with me here on this one like a while ago, back when he played the first one. I think if they
The
fixed...
problem with massive open world games is just make it massive and open world. Don't make a bunch of hoops that you have to jump through in order to get to the good part. Because eventually people are just gonna drop off with the division. It took so long to get to the part where you can just roam free and start murdering people. By the time like anyone got there, almost like 50% of the player base just quit because it was taking forever to get to the interesting part that they were promised in the trailer and like on the back of the game.
Exactly what I think a lot of AAA games do terribly. Like, they
Yeah.
do progression extremely bad.
The problem, I don't like E3, like the concept of E3 in general, because it's just them showing you what they want you to see. It's
That is
them
true.
showing you like the peak of the game. Like the games I got hyped for were the games that showed you just the beginning of the game, because that leaves like a crap ton of the game left to be actually good. The games that showed you like level 50 players,
Yeah.
I did not get excited for, because I don't know what's gonna I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to get to level 50.
What was that samurai game that you said you liked?
Shadow of the something.
Yeah, Shadow of the something. That game actually looks
The
extremely
reason I got hyped for that game
good.
is because it looked really good, and that was like the first level.
Yeah, like, it's quite obvious it was the first level, too. Like, it looked so good. Like, that
And the
is how you
gameplay looks
should
fun.
do it, right? That's how you should
Yeah.
do trailers. That's how you should do gameplay videos, right? You shouldn't
Yeah.
just go to the middle of the game and say, hey, this is where you could get to, and then leave out the fact that it's going to take 36 hours just to get here.
Yeah. That's the reason why I didn't like World War II. When I watched the trailer for World War II, they were using level 50 guns.
Here's
It
what
took
I-
me almost a month and a half to
Yeah.
get there. And
Here-
I was not a bad player. I averaged like 15, 20 kills per game.
Here's what I have to say for Call of Duty World War II. At the start, and a lot of big YouTubers could probably agree, and a lot of other, people, good, reputable people would probably say the same thing. At the beginning of World War II's lifespan, not only was it the most buggiest Call of Duty release we've ever had, but also Fortnite, as soon as they finally started to like kick their asses into gear, when I can't remember who the guy was, but he got fired. It was the head of Sledgehammer. When he got fired and someone else came in, they finally started doing community like suggested stuff and fixing the fucking game, right? But by
Yeah.
that time, Fortnite had
Fortnite
already
had
come
finessed
out.
all the players.
Precisely. Fortnite had already taken everyone away from COD and completely destroyed the fan base. The original guy who worked on that game, the original owner of Sledgehammer, or main guy of CEO of Sledgehammer, fucked that game completely.
Yeah.
If the guy that we have now was in it at the start, we probably would be like, I don't know. History could have been rewritten if he was there. Because now,
Yeah.
if you go into the game, there's a lot of things that are balanced. Create a class is back to being somewhat actually, good. They still have divisions,
Yeah.
but it's not as overpowered as they used to be, right? They have 3 attachments instead of 2. They have 1 perk that gives you it, and that's in one of the divisions, right? They took off the bayonet as a division and added it as an attachment. Same thing with the suppressor. Same thing with the R1, like the R3 to steady aim on mountain. They added that in as a regular fucking, thing for the snipers, which is as they should have done at the start of the game. They made it eventually so you could put, like, 2 grenades, like a lethal and a tactical, like it should have been at the beginning, unless they just completely removed tacticals. They finally started fixing the game by the end of that game's lifespan.
Yeah.
All right, last and final game that I want to talk about that I'm kind of hyped for, and I think you've talked about this a little bit as well, Fallout 76. You said that you're a little bit hyped for this one as well, I think, because Fallout really hasn't really done much wrong in the gaming world. The last game, from what I heard you say...
Fallout 4 was terrible compared to all the other Fallout games, but it was still fundamentally a good game. If Fallout 4 wasn't a Fallout game, I would enjoy the game. But I played Fallout 1, 2, and 3, And Fallout 4, by no comparison, was as good as any of those.
Which is why I'm hoping that Fallout 76 kind of brings it back.
But it's going to be completely different. It's going to be a multiplayer game. Fallout
That's
has never
true.
been a multiplayer game.
That's true. But imagine this, if they can get the multiplayer right, they could do wonderful things for the Fallout series, like the next games after that, if they decide to continue the series.
I'm still confused as to what is going to happen. Like, what are you supposed to do in the game? Because all the Fallout games follow a storyline, but since it's multiplayer and there is no solo player, there can't be a storyline. So is it just people running around like killing each other?
They remove the storyline? I hope.
Yeah, there's no storyline.
Dude, that fucking sucks. That was one of my favorite things
It's
about
multiplayer
Fallout.
only.
Like, I haven't played many of the Fallout games. Once again, I've seen them played, and I have Fallout 4. Fallout 4, I didn't finish because it was boring in solo, right? But if I could follow through if I could follow through the storyline in multiplayer, I would have probably had 10 times more fun with that. So if they would have left the story and just added a multiplayer mode, like a co-op mode, it would have been 10 times better, I think. Like,
I think
I don't see why.
is a story, but from what I've seen, the story isn't the focus of the game. The focus of the game is PvP.
That kind of sucks, dude. I mean, I like PvP and all, but it's not good. I don't know.
I like PvP and PvP games. I don't like PvP and what was initially a solo storyline game.
Precisely. But yeah,
They said
Fallout
it's gonna
76
be like multiplayer Dark Souls, except like in the future, so there are better weapons and stuff.
I don't know, man.
Which could like theoretically sounds fun, but
We'll see what happens.
it's just not a Fallout game.
Yeah, precisely. We'll see what happens. So, Fallout 76, that concludes the first segment. If we want to get up, get a drink of water, I'm going to roll some intermission. I'm going to hit the intermission thing right now. I'm going to kind of mute up, play some music. I'm going to go get a drink. I'm going to go get a drink, and we'll be right back.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we gonna light it up.
I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling. I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling. Falling, 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 started to fall, and where were you? How could I know you were falling too? Grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling.
Okay, guys. So give us a few seconds, and we'll be back. My friend's gonna try and run a game real quick, and then he's gonna be back because he's just recently cleaned his computer. So, better be.
And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to the planet where you and I are still meant to be. 'Cause I'm in cold when you're by my side, when you're right next to me.
All right. Do-
Silver one.
So, back. Let me flip over the thing. There we go. Okay. So, for this is gonna be the last segment because I don't want to, cost my parents any time watching TV and shit. So, for the first thing, we're gonna just go over to the fourth one, which is best debut indie game in your opinion. Pick any indie games that have trended, or ones that you have personally like played, or any ones that you've personally seen on like Steam or other gaming things, and which one would be the best debut for you? I have my personal nominations, but what do you think is going to be up there as a nomination, personal, and what you think should win?
Wait, what?
So right now we're going through the Game
I
Awards.
haven't played.
So
I haven't played. I don't Stan, I don't play video games. I play Minecraft and CS, so I haven't played in any game like ever.
Okay, well, it looks like. Have you watched videos about games?
No.
You call yourself a gamer.
I don't call myself a gamer.
Oh, well, I have found a new guest. Anyway, so, fourth segment, the Game Awards. What the Game Awards are is every year around December 7th, they have the Game Awards, which they have like 20 or 29, 30 categories in which they pick what games are nominations there that are all like fan voted. So the fans vote for what game they'd like to see win, and we'll just go ahead and we're going through. I picked like 6 of my favorite categories, which I stay tuned for every year, and I want to get Comet's opinions on what games he thinks should win these specific categories, and I already have my opinions written down. Now, I guess Comet's not going to be in this one, but he will be in definitely the top one because he's played a couple of these couple games this year. So, first things first, best debut indie game is the first category I picked. Now, for me, the best debut indie game would have to be Stick Fight. Stick Fight is basically like your 2 little stick dudes fighting, or however many however many players you have in the game. So you're fighting with these weapons that fall from the sky, and you use these weapons to kill each other, and it's all around fun. But it's a simple concept, but it's fun, and you do it on like these different maps that can drop down like boss things, so you can hop into it and you become a boss, and you can like. You can choose to team up with the guys on the ground to fight the boss, or you can do it yourself and kill the other guys. It's really good, really good. So, that's my pick for best indie game, best debut indie game. And now we're moving on to best esports game. And my personal pick would have to be, for best esports, definitely by far CSGO. Because, number one, even though like Fortnite has been taking the world by storm, 2017 wasn't really the year for like, and because these are games that all released or not released, but were around in 2017. Because I do believe that's gonna be the ones that they're gonna be picking our games from that released in 2017. I don't know. But CS:GO is definitely the best esports game in my opinion. I don't know if Comet has another opinion or what.
Probably Rainbow Six, honestly.
That's a good one. I didn't think of that. Rainbow Six just recently launched their R6 League last year, right before I think the end of the year. So that's definitely a good pick. I don't know why I didn't think of that. But yeah,
CS has won like 2 years in a row, I'm pretty sure.
I didn't know that. So, next category that I picked is best multiplayer game.
Creative Destruction.
So, best multiplayer game in general. Creative Destruction.
Creative Destruction.
Okay.
Creative Destruction.
I'd have to
It's not
pick
gonna win, but
that the best
should.
one is Fortnite. I'd have to say.
Yeet.
Fortnite. Definitely. Now
Definitely
we're
not.
moving on to one that you would know.
Creative Destruction.
Is...
Creative Destruction is better than Fortnite.
You're about to find out why I'm
First,
saying that you should save that answer.
Rewind.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting for comment, you guys should slap that subscribe button. Also, you should hit the like button too.
No, I
if you
said
want some more.
I said rewind because I wanted to debate you on why Creative Destruction is better than Fortnite.
No, I know why Creative Destruction is better than Fortnite. I'm just saying you should save that answer because the next category. Or the next, category. But yeah, my original pick I have written down on the notepad is Call of Duty World War II, but I changed my mind because that really, like, at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the game's lifespan was terrible. Like, it was, like, buggiest fucking multiplayer you ever seen. So, yeah, Fortnite. But now we're moving on to the best mobile game category. which I'm assuming we already know Comet's pick.
Holy crap.
What?
CSGO is on not laggy on this? Nunny?
Really?
It's what? Can I actually run? I'm sorry guys, but this has never happened to me before.
Okay, so best mobile game of the year for you, or yeah, of the year.
Is the laptop powered off?
Yeah.
Like all the way shut down?
Yeah. Mobile game, creative destruction. Or pub.
Creative
Honestly,
Destruction.
pub.
Okay, pub. That is exactly my answer. And the reason why is because 90% of this year we've spent playing PUBG. Like, we just recently got into creative destruction, I don't know, like 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. So, like, it wouldn't be right of me to pick creative destruction. So, PUBG Mobile definitely still has my heart. And, yeah. But next is the best audio design. I don't know what game to pick. I really don't. Because as far as best audio design goes, I don't really recall any games that I've played this year that had super unique but super good like audio design. The only one I can think of, there's only 2 or 3 that I can think of. One's Detroit Become Human. I do believe. I never actually saw the series, but I'm pretty sure it had some pretty good audio design.
Yeah.
2 is God of War. Because they had like super just like the music fit the theme very, very well. And 3 was
Also, Kratos' voice is...
oh god, dude, his voice is super fucking sexy, dude. Damn, dude, I want his voice. Like, I want that man's voice. The voice actor. What was the game that we queued with Yellow? That we queued with, we didn't queue with him, but we got into a game with him, and his dad came on the phone and sounded like fucking Kratos from the God of War, and you asked him to say, "I am the God of War." What was... well, dude, do you remember that? It was last night.
I do.
But
That's
yeah.
also the game I got kicked from.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, I think really best audio design for me, thinking of it now, would have to be God of War. Just for like game design, like audio design, and also like, you know, voice acting, which kind of goes with it, and the theme of the music was good. The sound effects were good, and that's, yeah.
Pretty much everything was good.
Yeah, that's probably one of the only blockbuster games this year that I was actually extremely impressed with. So, yeah. Now we're going with the main question, right? I already have an idea on what it would, like, it's what it's probably going to be, but we're going to go with Game of the Year. What is your Game of the Year pick?
Going to be Fortnite, but Smash Race.
What?
Game of the Year is going to be Fortnite, but Creative Destruction is Master Race.
Wow. Okay. My Game of the Year...
You know it's going to be Fortnite.
Oh, yeah, you know it's going to be Fortnite. But my pick, my personal pick, is, like, the last one, God of War. Like, animations in that game were solid. Number 2, the voice acting was amazing, dude. Like, I don't know. The audio was amazing. There was just so much about it that really dragged me in, including the story. Like, it continued this story from they managed to make a move from Greece to what mythology is Norse?
Greek, not Greek, Nordic.
Yeah.
Viking.
So, okay, so they made a move from Greece to Nordic, right? So it's like, I don't know very many games that could do that so smoothly and so well. That's my pick, is God of War. So, yeah. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it here for the second, I guess, installment of the Gamer Pro podcast featuring C Comet OG. The last time I did this was like 2-3 years ago when I was a little kid, and yeah, pretty good podcast, I think. Comet isn't that big of a gamer, I'd say, so obviously, you know. And we still have 2 segments here for the next time, which I'm hoping to get one of my other friends on that's a very big vintage gamer. Like, he played a lot of old games, like old kid games back in the day. So I'm hoping to get him on and kind of talk to him about, like, some of the older games that we used to play when we were, like, little kids. And just kind of chit-chat and talk, and, yeah. But without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next stream, video, or whatever the fuck I do. So, anything else to say?
What I'm trying to figure out is why you said without further ado. Okay, nothing.